What's up? I'm gonna take this off. Okay. I am still working on my coffee right here, so forgive me a little bit if we wait just a little while before we get into this. Try to get the volume at a good level for the music. Okay, all right. Trying a new thing. So, up top, nothing to really announce. Moved the stream from yesterday to today because I got absolutely hammered with allergies. I don't know if y'all are dealing with it. It's very, very good. Thank you, Diatra. Welcome. I got my Golden Girls mug. I'm gonna try to display the mug without tipping over the cup of coffee. That would be terrible. It'd take until 2099 to get this done. Oh, well, we're not done yet. I don't know if you all saw my tweet or if you just piled in from the Discord or whatever, but I was looking at this page and I was like, whew, we got some problems. But yeah, I started streaming a little late. Started putting together this stream, hence I'm still sipping on coffee because working on one of my Game Boys. I finished it up. I can show you actually. Did like a little posted up on Twitter. Let me see if I can find it. Did like a Dracula themed Game Boy. Let me see. Yeah. Here we go. Did like a Dracula themed Game Boy. This one was new. I've never done a DMG before. And it was like, it had been sitting on my desk for like, in my desk in the other room for like 2 weeks. And I just got too busy to work on it. And then I was like, I found myself with like an hour before the stream started. And I was like, I'm knocking this thing out. I'm getting it done. So that's what I did. It's got the DMG Game Boy is a little weird than other Game Boys because it has separate motherboards. It's got like a motherboard and a daughter board. So it's got a new screen in it, which is like a whole separate board. Thanks, man. And then it's got so it's got a new screen that is like completely adjustable. I'm going to be playing the new game of like, so the Game Boy displays 4 colors, right? And now I can tweak every single one of those colors. And now I'm like, oh God, that's the game I'm going to be playing now, is like working on palettes for the fucking Game Boy. Is daughterboard a real term? I believe it is. Motherboard, daughterboard. I think that's a real thing. As far as I know, people have explained stuff like that to me, so I am regurgitating the information that I've gotten. I don't know if I have bad information. Do I look like an electrician or a circuit boardologist? I don't look like that. In fact, I'm very dumb when it comes to this stuff. I'm like learning a little bit at a time. I have another DMG Game Boy that has problems with, it has 21 pins that connect the motherboard to the daughter board, if that's even a real thing. And 3 of the pins are not putting the right voltage in. And it took me a lot of trial and error just to figure out how to understand what I was even looking at to figure out what the problem is. And then once I figured out what the problem is, I'm like, okay, how do I fix this? No idea. I gotta start reading like electrical diagrams and like figure it out. I gotta get good, scrub. That's what has to happen. Alright. Coffee is almost chugged. We're gonna get into this. But yeah, so this got a New shell, obviously. We got the Castlevania shell. And Natalie the Nerd makes were these old Game Boys I managed to customize, or a recent project? These were not. I bought a lot of Game Boys from Japan. It was like 2 DMGs, a Game Boy Pocket, something else was in the lot, maybe another Game Boy Color, and they were all marked like for junk parts, and I've been trying to like resurrect them. And so this one came, and it took very little effort to get it going. And since it was like running, I put new capacitors in it, so that it runs for another 30 years. And then new shell, and then new screen, so new daughter board. And then since I was putting that in, I was like, and the shell is so Dracula-y that like, I was like, can we make the buttons light up? So I figured that out. I've never done that before. These are all kits that you can purchase from like handheldlegend.com and retromodding.com. Those are the two places I usually buy from. At any rate, enough Game Boys. Let's get into keeping the 90s alive. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Let's get into the problems that we have. Okay, here's some of the problems that we have with this right here. It's like real dark up here, it's real light down here, but it's like there's no good like color scheming happening in all this. It's like there's just too much between like everything going on in the background. Like the figures and stuff all work. I'm not irked at any of this stuff yet, but everything in the background, it's like, it's too brown. It's like brown, blue, green, yellow. It's just like, it's not working very well. So it's like, maybe we'll just fix it somehow. That's the goal, right? Just fix it somehow. I was thinking we could like try to just like wash it a little bit and then like pull some we want to keep it, but brown is realistic. No, we don't want to live in that space. Try to like, I think that's starting to look good. Here's the pull that my brain is having, right? So we want to make it lighter because the figures are darker and we want the figures to stand out. But at the same time, if we go too light, then like, oh, I didn't realize Streets of Rage was still playing. Streets of Rage, you're done. You're done today, for now. Sorry about that. So I didn't realize that when you make, okay, let me form a complete thought. We have like darker stuff at the top here, and my impulse was to keep it dark so that we were gonna like add a bunch of lights and stuff in, and those lights are gonna flare, and the lights flare will look better if we are able to get in there and like mess with if the flares are on like darker tones, the flares will look brighter, higher level of contrast. However, we're ending up like, I don't know, kind of too dark, and it's just like not working for me. I'm just not enjoying it. So, and part of me was like, I should just go back to the beginning and like, and this is me trying to figure this out, just playing with sliders. I don't think this looks good. This doesn't look good. Part of me was like, should we just go back to flats? Back to formula. Reminds me of that splash from Incal by Mobius. Don't Don't put that on me. I'm no Mobius. Blue's not working either. I can't internalize that level of whatever. So I'm just like trying to throw a bunch of solutions at this thing to see what would work. Back to formula. Yeah, exactly. Out am I? You really like the yellow? Yeah. I mean, we might still kind of go yellowy. We want to go... I don't think the bikes look good in a green. I think we have to commit to either a yellowish or a bluish. Like we're sitting in the middle of like the two colors that I want. I think it's making everything bad. Okay. Okay. New plan. We take this whole page, we throw it away forever. And we never talk about it ever again. Comics. Because in real life we have that ability, right? We can just chuck pages into the abyss and then be totally done. Okay. Should we do like this greenish? I kind of like this greenish. This really won't get finished until 2099? Yeah. I swear. I feel like the Green Goblin going back to formula. It feels like that in my bones. When I look at this thing, I'm like, scrap it and start over. I think that one of the things that happens while I'm streaming is that I start to like explain a process rather than like just doing a process. And when that happens, I end up in like this really odd space where it's like I can't. A lot of like in real life you'd have deadlines. Yeah, I know. Hey, I'm hitting all my deadlines. All my regular deadlines. Don't worry about it. It's just this nonsense. Oh, we're still okay. All right. It's like a weird green in this thing now. But I feel like when I color, I try to get into like this flow state. Like I'm sure fighting game fans like know what I'm talking about, where you kind of get into like a zen, and you just kind of go. And I feel like when I try to explain what I'm doing versus just like doing it, it's easier to just like do it than it is to explain it. And by like trying to explain it, maybe I was like not quite in that flow state. I don't know. Yeah, in the zone. Right, exactly. So I don't know. I don't know how this is going to turn out because I can't trust myself is what I'm saying. That's not good. That's not good. Here's what we're going to do. The actual psychological effect is really called flow. Yeah. Flow state. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to say nuts to all of this that we're doing currently. And we're just going to start painting crap in. We're just going to select some brushes. This could be a disaster, by the way. Because, like, I just feel like the whole thing is just like not working super well. And we just gotta like get in here and just start taking what feels muddy and make it not muddy, maybe. I don't know. So I guess that's what we're gonna do. And then if this doesn't work, back to formula. And I think I know exactly all about approach in the end. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, Here's the thing too. Here's the thing. So like part of me wants to go back to formula because I think there was a critical step earlier that we missed. That or like we didn't miss it. I just fucked it up. Like there's a moment where oh by the way let me show you. Sometimes when I screw something up like this, but I want to keep the figure work, I'll take all the figure work, cut and paste it to a new layer, and then lock it like this. So we have a new layer that's like this is just the figure work, and it's just locked in. That way we can just go in here and start painting. Um, and like we won't get these figures or anything like that, you know? Um, we're looking for happy accidents right now. We're looking for stuff that like I wouldn't normally, and we're being fast and loose. We're looking for stuff that I wouldn't normally be thinking about. Um, we're looking for the piece to just fix itself, basically. Does that make any sense? This is like terrible advice for anyone who's like trying to color, but basically you just want to just throw crap at it until it works. Um, yeah. The critical mistake that we made was when I went from flats to like throwing down some washes of color. I really just kind of like rolled with what my flats were, and I think that was because like I made those flats. So I was like I made these flats. This is kind of what I want. Like it'll be fine. And then once I got into the piece and like washed it with color, it like didn't work the way I wanted it to, and it was because those flats that we were putting the wash over on top of just like didn't function the way I wanted it to function. Um, it like it's hard to describe. Like the paint didn't mix the way I wanted it to mix. And I think that if I took just like a little extra time to get in here and like really fix those flats, we're doing headlights back here on these cars and some tail lights. Uh, and we're like like look at how loose we are. I'm like the loosest streamer on Twitch right now. Don't show this to K. Michael Russell. His colors are all super tight and very thought out, and I'm like, let's just chuck crap at it. um, but yeah, I feel like I just I don't know. It was like not exactly what I wanted out of the color mixing. And so I started in a place that like didn't really work that well. And we're going to try to end in a place that does work well, hopefully. Um, you just worked with a colorist. He asked you to separate foreground, background flats too. Yeah, that's how fine art works. Duct tape a banana to the wall and let people find artistic beauty. Mm-hmm. The thing that I love about fine art, and when people are like, "What a crock," it's like, yeah, of course it's a crock. Fine art is like about young artists trying to make a statement about how shitty the bourgeoisie are, and then like the bourgeoisie buy the art, and then for like a ridiculous amount of money to, I guess, be in on the joke or as an investment. I don't even know. And it's like, yeah, tape a banana to the wall. Who the fuck cares? Like, that's the art world. The art world is the banana on the wall. Do you see the Kurt is like a methodical academic guy? Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's not any like that's not a dig against him, by the way. He approaches coloring in a very very different way than me. When I watch him color, it's like, because like I am such like I have a particular way of doing things. When I watch him color, it's like watching an alien like do my job. It's insane. It is absolutely bonkers. I haven't seen Velvet Buzzsaw on Netflix. Uh, but yeah, every time I watch him color, I'm like, why are you doing that? What? Just put it over there. What are you doing? Put it over there. I'm just like, stop. You're driving me nuts. It's ridiculous. But he also, I feel like he colors with different goals than I do. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That Jack Kirby, Alex Toth, where they were like showing each other their process, and they were like, he showed me his process, and I didn't understand any of it. And then I showed him my process, and he said he didn't understand any of it. It's the same thing. All right, we're starting to hammer this thing into a space that I'm starting to enjoy. Um, I don't know if we're gonna keep the bikes this yellow because we're using a lot of yellow in the background now. Man, I read something that this work that we're doing right now is starting to remind me of. Um, I announced a Valiant book just recently, and working with Cullen Bunn on that. And in it, uh, it's like a magical team up book. If I was better at promoting, I'd tell you what the book title is. But anyway, it's a magical team up book, and it uses. So Valiant sent me, like, I was like, Valiant, you put me on a team up book, and like this is like the second thing I've ever been hired for you. Like, I don't know who any of these characters are. Can you send me some ref? And so they sent me a bunch of stuff, right? And one of the books was colored by Jordi Belair. You know what? I should know the title of that one too. Doctor Midnight, maybe. It's a Valiant book. Girl's got blue hair. She can like commune with the dead. I'm gonna look it up. It It is not Faith, Google. That is not the character. Valiant blue hair girl does not does not ring any bells. Damn. Damn. Somebody is screaming in the at their screen right now. Valiant blue hair girl talks to dead. Mirage. Dr. Mirage. This book. This book. Sorry, this is a very long tangent. But do they have a preview on here? They do not. Let's see. Dr. Mirage, #1. Preview. I just got worried about showing something terrible, like an image search that was going to come up bonkers. Dr. Midnight. I love that guy. Is owl. Yeah. I'm like way off the mark. There's too, like, let's be honest. There's too many doctors. Okay. All right. I found a preview. Here's a preview. So, like, this is what I'm talking about with, like, stuff that kind of makes my sets my brain on fire, is like this kind of stuff where it's like you're coloring for mood more than you're coloring for, like, what's correct. You know what I mean? It feels like more engaging and more jarring and more, I don't know. It's just like my kind of stuff, the stuff that I really love. And I feel like most of them don't even have doctorates. Yeah, I know. It's a real tragedy. You can't, the only person that is allowed to do that is Dr. Dre. And what I was going to say is that it feels like that stuff really excites me, but I also feel like that stuff goes into, like, mood over storytelling. I mean, it's also storytelling. Like, Jordi Belair is a fantastic storyteller. Let's not, like, fuck around, you know? But it's also what was I gonna say? It's like emotional storytelling with color. But that stuff, like I said, like, you know, K. Michael Russell is very analytic, and, like, I don't think he necessarily thinks exactly like that, and I think he'd be the first to tell you that. But I think that his goals are not the same as, like, Jordy, like, working on Dr. Mirage. Like, I think he wants to color, like, extremely mainstream books, like Spider-Man. Like, he wants to be on Spider-Man, you know, and he wants to do, like, an extremely, like, mainstream job with Spider-Man. If they put me on Spider-Man, that's great. If they don't, I'm not gonna, you know, lose sleep over it. And I think that thinking about, like, where your goals should be is important. Like, what do you want out of coloring? That stuff is important. And I think he's working towards his goals really well. But the stuff that I want to do is, like, a lot different. Coloring the psyche is something we rarely see in comics. Yeah. It's true. Man, whenever I see, like, so, like, I'm putting down this blue color here, and it's, like, blending with the oranges and stuff, and it's, like, kind of creating these happy accidents over here in the corner. This stuff, whenever I see this kind of stuff, it always reminds me of Barry Windsor Smith's Weapon X stuff. I've harped on this before on stream. oh my god, it's just so good. It's just so damn good. Like the way that he is thinking about like how he like layers the cyan over magenta and yellow. Like he's making the panel work in magenta and yellow, and then laying cyan over it, and it's just, oh, man, the dude just like knows his shit. I'm coming out with a controversial take that Barry Windsor Smith might be good at comic books. It's it's a hot controversial take. It just clicked now that I mentioned the psyche of comic books, psyche of characters rather than like what you're actually looking at. That stuff is harder to do in it's harder to do with mainstream books because mainstream books tend to jump around a lot. They tend to. I should write for Screen Rant. Don't you start. This stream, Screen Rant approved, by the way. I've been quoted on Screen Rant a couple of times now. So pretty much this is a Screen Rant stream. Um, Pretty much. I mean, when you think about it, don't think about it. We're like fast and loose over here. All right, I kind of want to add in because like, let's face it, Rick Leonardi didn't do this, so we're gonna uh, like lights and stuff. I meant for that as a criticism of Rick Leonardi, but really it's just my own insecurities. Because I'm like, hey, let's make some lights so I could distract from some of this stuff. But also, it's like it's 2099, right? We gotta put some lights in. Man, you can interpret like I'm gonna color the psyche of the characters and kind of start to get lost in like trying to keep it loose though. And if you do that, you run the risk of like making something that is completely illegible. Like you don't want that either. You don't want to end up in a spot where you're like I made this thing and it's like tough to read. You know, that's a bad place to be. Um, from that controversial statement of like Barry Windsor Smith like knows how to color some comic books. I know it's I'm nothing if not controversial. Uh oh, my dog is getting treats because she's being a good girl. I think I'm going to be at Heroes Con. By the way, speaking of conventions, I haven't I haven't talked to Heroes Con. They don't know that I'm going to be there, but I think I'm going to be there. I think I'm not going to table though. I think I'm just going to walk the show because that con's really tough for a colorist. It's tough for anyone that's not like Art Adams, you know, like The the whole vibe of that show, for anyone who doesn't know, uh, is people collectors are there to buy original art because they that show attracts so many amazing artists that you end up with like this incredible roster of people all in the same place at the same time. So a lot of collectors will go and be like, I'm here to buy, you know, like deep pocket collectors will be like, I'm here to buy $10,000 worth of comic book pages, you know. Um, and I've got these artists that I'm thinking of buying from, and that rules. Like, yes, deep pockets. Yes, pay some artists. I love this, but it is not great for colorists in general. In general, not great for anyone that's not. That was sloppy. We're gonna back that up. Uh, not great for anyone that's not, you know, those artists. So I think this is the first one that I'm going to do that I'm not going to table at. Plus, like, I haven't tabled a con in like forever because of COVID. And I'm like, I kind of just want to like see my friends and not worry about a table. Plus, uh, I also feel like I gotta like take inventory of all the stuff I have and like figure out sell art, sell autographs. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what the show is. And I do not charge for autographs. I sign a lot of books while I'm there, but it's so tough to move books at that show. I've watched. There was a guy, I forgot his name. He did like a book that's like a Calvin and Hobbes detective book kind of thing. It looked really interesting. I didn't get to grab one before I had left the show. I wanted to. Um, he was sitting across from me. This was like 4 or 5 years ago, so this is why memory is hazy. Um, and he was like, usually he was say or I overheard him saying that he usually does really well, so like hand selling books, and this show he did not. And I feel like, man, that's just Heroes Con, baby. The train is rolling by. I don't know if you can hear it. I live by the tracks. All right, we're getting there. It's coming along. But I was thinking about maybe trying to get my zine done for Heroes and then just like handing it out to some of my buds, see what they say. If people are interested in having it, I'm not going to force it on them, obviously. Um, but yeah, so I was thinking about going signing some books if people want me to, and then probably spending too much money on Batman the Animated Series comic books at the comic shop there in town. Do you know that the comic book shop in Charlotte, North Carolina, Heroes Aren't Hard to Find, has an incredible selection of back issues? Because it does. Absolutely bonkers incredible, like, so good selection. I'm trying to get Batman the Animated Series books, and I'm trying to do a run, and it would be a big help. And I'm also trying to do a run, and I'm trying to get all the books in person. Like I'm trying to not go on eBay, not live that eBay life. Living on the wrong side of the tracks. Yep, yep, yep. You get it. I live my life quarter mile at a time. I don't know what that means. Man, we could start to do some like kind of blue lights over here. Actually, we've been leaning into yellow. Why don't we just kind of pop this stuff in? Um, and yet we lean into yellow. Uh, the One Comics Festival in Columbus, Ohio, your buddy and I are looking at, changed his mind when he realized it's the same date as his anniversary. Bring the wife. Done deal. Yeah, yeah, romantic getaway. Exactly. Exactly. See, we're on the same page. I know what you were thinking. We're bleeding into other panels now. That's probably fine. Probably. Um, man, I lately I've been watching on YouTube. People, I usually pick up while I'm at conventions a video game or two. I try to buy those in person as well. Like I try to buy everything I can that I think I can reasonably get in person rather than trying to get it on eBay. Um, and I saw somebody doing a game expo, and they were they were searching for video games, and it made me really want to hit up a game expo, a game swap, a game trade, a convention. And I looked up the conventions in my area, and there was one that's happening this weekend, but it was like it was like in a church. So I'm like, how big could this possibly be? Is this worth driving 4 hours to go to uh, a games expo? Okay, so the answer is no. By the way, it's not worth it. We need to blue up these. Oh my god, this is like just click the thing, Nick. Okay, we need to blue up these like speeder bikes because we're losing this one's like getting totally lost. This guy on the right. Um, if it's a Gothic cathedral, probably a giant place. Yeah, I don't think it is a Gothic cathedral. I don't know, but I don't know. Find a good thing that I'm looking for. Maybe that's fine. You know, we're gonna push these guys back. Oh, whoop. We're gonna push these guys back into blue. This thing is not connected. This one is not connected. We did not carry this one over. We're gonna do that right now. We gotta deselect Spider-Man because I don't know where he's been on this other layer. Oh man, this is no, I'm just gonna do this one by hand. Trying to figure this out like kind of broke my brain. Okay, we're gonna do that one by hand. Let's unlock it. Like a blue-green maybe? Is this what it was before? Is this kind of what it was before? think it was. It's like maybe just a gray. I know that's kind of boring. But the blue is like, so the blue works better on the orange and stuff, but we're starting to lose him, blending him into Spider-Man. Spider's Man. You like that emerald green? Yeah, maybe a green. Yeah, Spider-Man blue and black. Yeah, that's the problem that we're having right now. Is that like it has to kind of work against the Spider-Man blue and black. The other thing is like we could invite too much color into our situation. And that maybe by like doing a gray bike, it might get everything to chill the hell out a little bit. I don't know what that was over there. Okay, we're trying to refine. We're trying to get to a place where things are not a little bit of a mess. The dominant color on that page is blue. Can't post links, my dude. That page, this page is not blue, it's yellow. I mean, it's blue and yellow. Let's try to fix some of this stuff in here. I just want to like, boom, like that. Maybe even a really shocked face. We gotta start fixing some of this stuff because we kind of bled all over the place with this, Okay, so they're using the searchlights here to like, in this middle panel, to look for stuff. So this stuff has to read pretty dark. These buildings here. So we're gonna try to darken them up. And we're going to take these and kind of lighten them up a little in the background. Blue, yellow, white in the middle. Okay, now I got to see this page that you guys are talking about. Incal Mobius. Are you talking about this one? Oh, well, I had it. Talking about this one, right? I mean, it is blue, yellow, white. This is a pretty famous page because didn't this get like recolored at some point and then like absolutely mangled? This is kind of the opposite of what we're doing because we're trying to keep the figure blue and the rest of it like a white. Splash page with the guy falling, yeah. Kind of the opposite of what we're doing. Still a good example though, because we're trying to create that depth. We'll get there. I gotta mess with a lot of the line art back here too and stuff. So we will get there. It's just gonna take a second to get there. Maybe if I keep saying the words "get there," we'll get there. Maybe. Yeah, the recoloring, there's no focal point. It's like all over the place. Yeah, I remember that. I kind of want to red up Spider-Man a little bit. It's the only time we see Spider-Man in the page. Oh, I'm not on the right thing. We're gonna flatten these layers because it's driving me nuts. Yeah, let's flatten this stuff. All right, let's. These panels should be a breeze. See if they actually are a breeze. It's looking better already. Yeah, I mean, even just like you look at like where we started, and it's like nothing's really unified, especially in this like first panel. And it's like my values are kind of already all over the place, and nothing's really unified. And then you look at it now, and it's like, oh, the figures are there. We put the figures in there. You know, uh, all right. We're going to mess with levels and knocking out line art at some point in here too. It's going to get real. We're going to get nuts, is what I'm saying. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. Kind of want these to feel warmer than they do. Only because we're going to be flaring some of these light sources. So I want them to interact well. It's literally the only thing catching your eye. So here's the thing about that web cape color. Um, it's it's like a color that doesn't even work in CMYK. We're in RGB. Uh, it would print like this. It would print actually gray, but I don't know. We're gonna refine the figures at the very end, and I think we might be working on that web cape a little bit. What we have to do first is I'm gonna knock out some of this background line art, and we're gonna start to put some flares over it and brighten up the light source and stuff, and try to just make it work. It's I feel like I'm a little uh, unhelpful with this stream because basically we went in and I was like, it's a methodical process for the first stream, it's a methodical process for the second stream, and then the third stream, nothing works, and I'm just gonna paint it by hand, you know. So it's a little rough, but we're gonna get there. And I don't know if this is gonna get changed or not. It might get desaturated a little bit. We'll see. But yeah, I do feel like I as like a teaching moment, it was like everybody's methodical until part number 3. Yeah, exactly. Uh, as a teaching moment, it sucked. But as like a I just want to make a cool thing, then that's where we're going. Um, I feel like I've done. This is the problem. Is that, well, one of the problems. This is a really good problem to have. Is that I've done this a lot. So sometimes when I'm like, this isn't working, I know how to get there, and it's just I'm just gonna pick the colors that I want and put them down there. And I don't know if that really helps anybody when I lean on my experience more than method. But shit, man, it's what I got. If I can't lean on my experience, what are we even doing here? All right. Part of the problem that we have with these panels here, all right in a row, is that we have no gutters, and uh, that's really annoying. Especially here because we have this light flare and then we have this light flare, and it's like we have to kind of figure this out and make this read well. And I guess we have a little bit of help because like the word balloons are in the way, and it works and helps to a degree. Um, I'm just trying to like kind of gesture in some shapes, and then we're gonna pull a grad. We're gonna screen some stuff down. I want to get this as like close to white as possible on this side, and then not on this side, and then we're gonna try to make this like white. Um, in order to make it feel separate. We're trying to make it feel separate. We'll see if we get there. Here's a trick to if you want to make something feel warm. Like we're trying to make this spotlight feel warm. Kind of feel this in theory, you know what to do, but actually coloring, it's like, damn, I don't like this. Yeah. Uh, Here's the thing. Coloring's it's hard. So if you want something to feel warm, place it next to cooler things. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just cooling down this area around them. We can even go cooler than that. Wow, that's way too cool. Way too cool. And these guys are gonna largely be knocked out by a lens flare. So we don't, and like Leonardi like knew what he was doing. He kind of gestured him in. He didn't put a lot of like detail in there because the spotlight should be like drowning them out. Um, okay. I kind of want to go a little nuts back here. Like maybe not. We're betraying our palette. Our palette is betrayed. This was all not a good idea. Okay. Let's do the background here, and then we can kind of get into working the rest of this thing. Um, huh. I just realized I was kind of make this 10 I was trying to make this 10 stick out in this little arrow, but we have these patches on these guys. We should probably match the patches. There we go. All right, let's and like this stuff that Leonardi gestured in, like these backgrounds are also gestured in. So we're just going to like fingers crossed, hope this works. 360 no scope it. Kind of worked. Kind of worked. All right, let's try a thing. Let's deselect figures everywhere. All the figures are deselected. What if we just like? What if we just like got a little saucy? What if we just like use saturation, just like tabbed it in a direction? Whoo, whoo! Is that too saucy? Might be too saucy. We might need to simmer that sauce down. Your approach to coloring is that scene in The Simpsons where the rain washes the dull gray uniforms and brings out the rainbow colors, and Milhouse just starts freaking out. I'm freaking out. I like this a lot. So if you weren't paying attention, we made the selection here, with the backgrounds. And then I did a hue and saturation, but we did it through this what is this called? What is this thing called? Mask. Thank you, brain. Thank you, brain. We did this through a mask. So now we can like tweak the mask. Because I don't really like this green up here. I don't know about this aqua. And I really liked the yellow down here. So we're going to be able to like kind of bring that back out. As you can tell, my approach to comic coloring is like Homer's shotgun makeup gun. I feel like that's my approach to comic coloring. Just like, I don't know, let's throw stuff at it until it works. Reminds you of Spider-Gwen? Yeah. We're definitely like into the Spider-Verse, which is what I wanted from this. I don't know how this happened. How did this happen? Is that this thing? No. Okay. All right. Let's figure out how to get this to where we want it. Women don't like being shot in the face, Homer. No, but Photoshop loves it. So we're making this for web, right? That's why we're in CMYK. I have to look at my other screen because this screen's calibrated for web, and I kind of want to like mess with the levels just a little bit. Since you're a noob, you go with the basic like flat, pick a ref, render, add details, repeat until it's acceptable. I mean, that's really what we're all doing, right? Like we're all just living that like, is this good? Do I still have to work it? Is this good? Do I still have to work it? Is it good now? Is it good now? Are we done yet? Are we done yet? That's how I feel with a lot of this stuff. Okay, so here's my problem. Over there, on that screen, looks banging, right? For web. Over here, way too dark. I mean, maybe we'll... Maybe a little too dark over here. Maybe a little bit. Like that, like that. And we'll try to... Oh, we gotta fix this thing. Flatten that down. My unacceptable still looks pretty good. Yeah, that's just years of experience though. Like My, I was actually just looking at, man, Mike Oming, and I think I talked about this on the other stream, is that like Mike Oming and Scott Wagner were both posting like old uh, stuff that I had worked on, and I was like, guys, please don't. You're gonna give me a complex because there's like I just see like 1,000 things I would change. Um, this looks like the future now. Excellent. All right, we are going to knock out some of the stuff in the back. Let's get some of this stuff looking right. You hope you finish today because otherwise it means no more Fire Emblem. So look, okay, it's interesting that you brought up Fire Emblem because I want to talk about that. So my lovely partner Shannon is going to be going on a work trip. She's going to be out for like a week, and I was like, I wonder if I can just bang through Fire Emblem that week, like a damn job. So I'm gonna try to do that. Uh, you Nick Phil, elite gamer, yeah, exactly. So we're gonna try to do that. We're gonna try to do. It's gonna be in April, where I'm just gonna like get Fire Emblem done because I do want to finish it. I do really want to work on it. But the other thing is I keep putting it up to a vote, and people keep voting for this stuff. So it's also like, you know, I can only go so far. You know, I put it in the people's hands. So we're gonna see what we can do about that. Okay, where else is there? Whoa, too much. I'll put this back in my lap. You know what I miss about Fire Emblem? The slow burn on my sanity. The beginning of the stream is like I'm a fairly put together normal regular person, and then by the end of the stream I'm a freaking insane person. Bold of you to feel like I could. Yeah. Well, okay, if we don't finish we're gonna put a big dent in it. I also, I don't know if you all noticed, if you watch on Twitch or YouTube, but I stopped putting stuff up on YouTube. I'm still, it's still going up there, but I'm gonna bank a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna bank a bunch of streams all at once, and then start putting stuff on YouTube in a very like uninterrupted way. Sounds like you play in Bloodborne. Yeah, I start with the best intentions, and then it's just a slow, like, like, oh, now the game is gonna mentally destroy me. Excellent. Yeah, but I haven't even really gotten to the hair pulling levels yet. Well, we'll be sure to get there for sure. What I'm saying is there's going to be more. There's going to be more of that. Um, Zen Master the Florida Man. Yeah, exactly. Trying to get all of these. Is there any other like zip lines? The character like moving around like this? I don't think so. All right. Whoa, Photoshop chugged there for a second. Made me worried. Made me very worried. All right. Okay. let's knock out some of this background stuff. We're just going to select this whole panel and then deselect these dudes. Get the rage factor on strategy games. That's the only thing that makes me like that these days. Is playing fighting games, competitive level. Yeah, I can't put that evil in my life. There's no way. There's no way. Like, I remember occasionally getting tilted at like Call of Duty back in the day. And it took me a while to realize, oh, I'm actually not having fun. And the reason that I'm not having fun is because, like, I step in being like, I have all this experience and I expect to win, you know? And once you start thinking that way, it's like, oh, now you're just going to tilt when you don't win. It's like, oh, well, my team sucked or whatever. You can't really do that with fighting games. But, yeah, it's tough. It's tough to take those losses. Street Fighter 4, when that came out, I was like, I'm a pretty good Street Fighter. The problem is that, like, I thought I was a pretty good Street Fighter player, and then what happened is that I was a pretty good Street Fighter player among the like 6 people I was playing video games with, and then when I wasn't playing with those people, when I was playing with people who were like, I'm gonna play Street Fighter for 10 hours a day every day. When I started playing with those people, whew, guess who's not a great Street Fighter player? The bummer with that is that it's like, okay, I gotta learn how to get better, but it's also like, yo, I'm playing online and like, I just like the reality check. Yeah, exactly. It's like I'm playing online and like I'm trying to get better, and it's like, oh, I'm just gonna lose 15 times in a row, and then I'm like, what am I doing? Like, why am I even playing this? Yeah. Boy, why you miss? Yeah. Yes. Yeah, yeah. It's gonna start becoming that. Oh my god. I was playing just recently Aria Chronicle. I don't know if you guys have heard of that game. I was talking about it a little bit in my Discord. By the way, you should join the Discord if you want. We're in there all the time talking about comic books, video games, everything. And I'm in there all the time. And if you ever have a question about comic book coloring, I'm available. I'm there. Happily chat with people. We got to do another portfolio review, by the way. I got to pull a portfolio out of the Discord and do another one. Anyway, Aria Chronicles like that. It's like Darkest Dungeon. And holy God, it's like Darkest Dungeon, the same thing to me, where it's like, oh, you're having a good time? That's great. We're going to let you have a good time for like 10 hours. And then we're going to kick you in the nuts over and over and over again. And I was just like, no, Aria, this isn't what I wanted. I just wanted a nice chill time, strategy elements. And now I'm getting critical, and the environment is killing me, and I'm like, I don't have the right ring, and I'm like, ugh. I can't put this in my life anymore. That's my Aria Chronicle and Darkest Dungeon review for you. But how your character works with other characters. Yeah, I know. It's a whole fucking thing. Fighting games are really neat, and if I was the type of person who was like, I'm only going to play one game and one game only, I'd be like, yeah, let's like, what is it? Play, I don't know what I'd play. Probably Guilty Gear Strive, maybe? Or a King of Fighters game? Maybe a Street Fighter. Those are like the big 3. But it's a job. Yeah. That's the thing, is like, I don't want to play one game. I want to like play a lot of different games. And like, if I play a fighting game, it's like I'm playing one game. It's the same with like any competitive shooters and stuff. It's like I want to get good at Apex Legends. Like I'm only playing Apex Legends. I want to get good at PUBG. I'm only playing PUBG. And it's like, I like playing a variety of stuff. As you could probably tell by, Boyks and I, what we stream on Thursdays on this channel. We're doing Super Nintendo stuff. First year of Super Nintendo is the theme. I got some banging carts that I'm bringing. I don't know what he's bringing, but it's gonna be good. Oh, I just realized the word balloons are in here too. We got to deselect the word balloons. It's amazing how challenging games like Dark Souls, Elden Ring makes success killing you from nowhere and making your life hell. Yeah. I haven't ever played a Souls game. I want to. I've bought them. I'll probably play Elden Ring. Maybe eventually. Everybody was like, these games are so hard. And then I'm like, I don't know, man. I've played a lot of Nintendo games through the years. They can't. I mean, it can't be more difficult than like Silver Surfer on the NES. You know. Anyway, we're trying to colorize this background line art, and it is involving doing this hot big selection to kind of get to where we need it to go. Final levels ask you to be a Zen master. Yeah, I know. Like those games are just like those NES games are just brutal. I was actually thinking about trying to beat uh, Mega Man 3. We played that. I played that with Boyks a little bit, and I was like, oh, I should go back and finish it up. Oh man, we missed the we missed the fin of this thing back here. Mega Man 3, yeah. Man, Ghosts and Goblins though. Sometimes when I'm like Souls games, it's the dying and the heading way back to the save point that destroys me. See, I kind of have patience for that. However, the patience that I have for it is like, oh, I got sent back. All right, I'm done for the day. And then I'll switch to something else, and then I'll try it again like the next day or like 6 hours from then or whatever. Um, be like, did I do it this time? No? Okay. Well, like we'll try it again. Um, all right, we are colorizing this hot line art. This is tough because I'm like, I need to see it in the other monitor because it's kind of not working in this monitor. We're getting a little muddy up here. All right. I think we're good. What if we add a little pink to it? Sure, why not? As a treat. We're gonna add some lens flares and stuff. Let's do that. Well, no. So I don't normally color with two screens. Here's what's going on. My computer is being a jerk, and I normally, if I know I'm coloring for web, I would brighten up the monitor a little bit so that I know that it'll look good on the web. But my computer is doing this thing where I open the NVIDIA control panel and it doesn't open. Um, and I did like a restart, uh, and it would open, and then sometimes it doesn't if it's been on for a long time. Basically, I'm having problems. The video card's all up to date. Windows is being a butt. I'm having problems with that, and that is cascading into problems with the Cintiq. So, like basically, if it works, I'm not fucking with it. But my issue is that I can't get it to not look for like print, you know? So the other monitor over there that I like I'm keeping an eye on is set for web, and so I'm trying to like make sure that like it looks okay over there. Is this the stupid NVIDIA GeForce thing? I don't know. I don't know what it is, to be completely honest. I keep like diagnosing it, fixing it, and then ending up with the same problem again. This isn't working. We're backing up. Um, so it's just like a real good time, especially when like I just want to get to work during the day. just a just a real great time. We're getting there. Whoa, is this a little nuts? This might be too nuts. There's too much difference in light and dark here. Like it's competing with itself. We need to basically chill that whole thing out. It needs to chill out. It's kind of the same over here. Maybe? Maybe. All right, we got to do a thing. Hold on. We got to make a mask for these ding dongs because they're getting in the way. We're gonna have to refine the mask so that we're not muddying up the image. Like he's getting a little bit of overlap there. We're like tracing the same thing again. I hate when this happens. I hate it. I hate it so much because it's like we already did this once. Now we're doing it again. We don't have to do it over the whole image because, you know, the color would pick up a little bit around the rim. So it's I'm not like killing myself about it, but like this was egregious around his face. Okay. kind of like let's like chill it out a little bit over here and maybe over here. Get this guy to come forward just a little. But we're getting good. It's looking better, looking better. Let's darken up Spider-Man's the blue in Spider-Man. I think we can darken him up just a little bit. There we go. Okay, we're gonna do a thing. We're gonna try a radical maneuver. This might need to be cleaned up a little bit to work, because we're going to try to make Spider-Man kind of have like a hard light side. Yeah, like I said, this might take a little bit of cleanup to work exactly right. But let's try it. Take this pure white. So like everything is screaming color right now, and we just want to like make Spider-Man the focus. Man. So we're just gonna silhouette him, like, not silhouette him, but like make sure that he has the highest highs on him. With this like white outline. Also, it'll like draw attention to Spider-Man's butt, which is what we're all here for, right? Right, chat? Spider-Man costume design wise, it used to just be the basic suit, the like regular red and blue, but man, the this is gonna be like sacrilege. All right, this is gonna be the hot take right here. The Spider-Man suit, the Velocity suit from the PlayStation game, kind of freaking rocks. Like, it's so good. The first time I saw it, I was like, that's very dumb. And then I saw it in motion, and I was like, that is very good. There's something about the Velocity suit that, like, it like wedged itself in my brain, and it's like all I think about when I think about Spider-Man now. I haven't even played the game yet, but yeah, it's like, man, it's just stupid good. I also really like the 2099 suit, obviously. Um, I also really like Cosmic Spidey that Eric Larson did. Kind of like, just, it's like bonkers and fun, and I just kind of love it. Uh, those Eric Larson books, man, they're really good. Um, It's a little too clean. The velocity suit. It'd be like really difficult to draw into a comic book, which is I think its ultimate downside. Um, but man, you also just can't beat the freaking just Steve Ditko like blue and red. It's just so good. Tell you what one I don't like. The the red and gold Iron Man stuff. I hated all that. Like uh just not what I want in my Spider-Man stuff. Black suit's also a classic. I'm also not necessarily a Spider-Man expert. Like there's a lot of Spider-Man that I should read that I have not for whatever reason. I seem to be the only one that misses the Ben Riley one. I like the Ben Riley one. Is that the one with the hoodie? Is that the one? Is that the one you're talking about? I kind of like that one. Man, I one of my Spider-Man bucket list books that I'm like I gotta read that eventually is the Clone Wars. I just want to read through all the Clone Wars. I have kind of like a soft spot for like stuff that takes big swings, and the Clone Wars definitely was taking big swings with Spider-Man. Um, Wait, can I change my my answer, my Spider-Man suit answer to when he had like six arms? Because that freaking rips. When he was like turning into an actual spider or whatever during the Clone Wars. Your girls hated the Spider Punk outfit till they discovered his guitar attack in the game, and now they freaking love it. That's great. Man, Spider Punk is also so good. I love seeing the Spider Punk cosplay. Clone Saga, yeah, yeah. I love seeing Spider Punk cosplay in at shows. All right, we're getting there. He's looking good. I particularly like this heel stuff he's got going on. We made Spider-Man pop out like freaking crazy, uh, which is I think the goal. I think that's the goal. Let's get in here in another screen. I just want to like add a little flavor to these lights. Man, I feel like some coloring that I've like really enjoyed lately is anything, basically anything spider butt poop pop level is now 99%. Yeah, as intended. Anything that Tommy Lee Edwards has been doing, man. Oh god, that guy like just smokes my brain. Just like it just looks so good. He's just so good. Yeah, that's Spider's ass. America's ass? Spider's ass? I don't know. It's something. Putting a little sauce on this. It looks good, man. I'm like really enjoying this now. When we open this page up, let me tell you what I wasn't doing. Enjoying this. I was like, this has a lot of problems, and we need to solve them. And now I've gotten to the point where I'm like, oh, this is a good time again. Uh, Tommy from Motley Crue. No, not Tommy Lee. Tommy Lee Edwards. There's a distinct difference. Bullet points. Yeah. He's so good. The way he colors is so distinct. He's everybody really likes him. He's an incredible artist, first of all. He's an incredible artist. We can't understate that. But like the way he colors is also very interesting. Like the way he like puts down flares and interacts with background elements and stuff like that. It just like the whole thing just like clicks together on the Wickham channel, which has Tommy coloring. Yeah, I gotta check those out. I look at that stuff and I'm like, I would like to go to there. How do I get to that? It like, I don't know, it just sets my brain on fire. We're trying a thing. I'm trying to see if like we can add some like weird just chunks of color. If that's gonna work. It might not work. Kinda works. We can leave it. I do kind of want to. We like missed this. We missed like a whole like weird section of this building, kind of. We didn't touch it. I don't know why. We gotta push it back just a little. Kind of make the glider kind of stand out. Plus, you married panel. All right, exactly. Man, there's a Vice documentary about the '90s that's pretty good, and they have one on. There's like every episode is a different thing that they're doing, like a different theme, and there's one about Baywatch, and they were interviewing the kid who was on that show. Was it David Hasselhoff's son? Yeah, but it wasn't actually David Hasselhoff's son. But he played his son on the show. And he says this quote that is like, it's just like lodged itself into my brain, where he was like, Pamela Anderson is like a donut. Like, you can stick to your diet if you haven't had a donut in like 8 months, but if you have if you have one taste of that donut, you're gonna want all the donuts. And he was like, Pamela Anderson's the same way. You get one taste of Pamela Anderson, and all you want is Pamela Anderson. I thought that was kind of like a ridiculous, like hilarious quote, but also it made me want donuts, which is like also kind of a bummer. I just want to add like a little splatter, a little noise in here. We might be overworking this at this point, but you know what? I'm all right with that. I'm okay with it. I'll allow it. The spikes aren't really coming across in the silhouette, so we're gonna work on those specifically right here. We're just gonna darken them up. Yeah, I feel like they come forward a little bit now. We can even lighten up. Ooh, we're gonna even lighten up some of the stuff in the background. We have the rest of the panels to do. I gotta start thinking about that stuff. Okay, here's the thing. So I selected this bike in addition to Spider-Man here. We're gonna push this section back so that the spikes on his arm come forward a little bit. But in the process, we're also going to push back the bike from Spider-Man a little bit, just a little bit, if I can figure this out. Select the thing I want. Okay. Deselect Spider-Man. Okay. And take like this yellow. No. Purple. Yes. Just trying to push it back just a little bit. Just give Spider-Man a little bit of breathing room from the bike. And we can do the same thing with the other bike, actually. Just a tiny bit of breathing room. Hey, we've made some great strides. Look at this. Let's just back up. Let's just bask in it for a second. Let's just take a victory lap. Started here. Now we're here. Sometimes it's important to take a victory lap for your own sanity. Okay, let's finish it up. We got these guys down here. They're hanging out. I kind of want to add like a little sparkle to the dude's eye. A little sparkle. He may be like a corporate shill working for the man in 2099. He's got a little sparkle in his eye. You know? In another life, maybe him and Spider-Man could have been friends. Maybe even lovers in the nighttime. I don't know. I don't judge. All right. We want to fade this guy back, as well as knock back some of this stuff, these buildings and things. So we're going to try to get these faded back. Ooh, that's real far back. There we go. I'm just going to quickly gesture them in because they don't need a ton of time. We don't really need to be wasting a ton of time with this stuff because it's gestured in anyway by Leonardi. So we're just going to roll with what he's telling us to roll with, you know? Like he's like, don't look at this stuff. I'm gesturing it in, and I'm like, I agree. Let's also gesture it in. Listen to your artists when they're communicating to you on the page. You wanna listen. Um, we are going to crank up this silhouette thing here. This might need to get cleaned up just a little, but we can do that. He's getting a little lost, which I don't necessarily like, but I think that it'll be dramatic when we finish it. That's what we're going for. We're going for all the drama. We want to make sure that we do not colorize this stuff because it's in the other panel there. Okay, let's clean this up just a little. There's like all these little corners and stuff where it like we didn't quite get everything. Oh my god, we're a mess. We're a total mess. Man, just putting in all these little details. Takes forever, but it's worth it. We'll end up with a good product in the end. Thankfully, we don't have to put, like, we put all this effort into this top one. We don't have to go too ham on these panels because they're very, very quick. They don't need a whole lot, you know? I might warm this up just a little bit. It's looking a little yellow, and it's actually drowning out that guy. Well, don't let your art get in the way of my colors. Yeah, exactly. We're gonna flare these a little bit, like that. Like we're Steven Spielberg. Or wait, no, who's the other guy who wants to be Steven Spielberg? Like we're making Super 8. Forgot who that dude who like worked on Star Wars and then quote unquote ruined it. All the nerds thought he ruined it or saved it. I can't remember. Nerds got mad about Star Wars. That's all I know. What is that? What is that dude's name? It's completely escaped. See how sloppy we're being? We're being so sloppy. I don't know if you should be this sloppy. I'm being this sloppy. I'm definitely doing that. Look, you zoom in. First of all, never zoom in. Second of all, Don't be this sloppy. J.J. Abrams. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, he definitely ruined Star Trek. Okay. All right. Kind of wanted to push these in the back a little bit. It's a little hazy, but I think it works. I'm gonna figure out this one. So we want to, like I said, we want to flare it on the right side and not on the left side because we don't want it like interfering with this. We want this black border, like this line right here has to be black. Like it cannot like this over here is not as black as it should be, and it should be. It should be. So we should probably fix that as well, because we want to make sure that the panels are readable. I know this is not like the cool thing to do, make readable panels, but you know, we should probably do it. Dog is laying on the squeaker. I'm not like super careful with these word balloons, only because it's not the point of what we're doing. We're not trying to highlight the word balloons. Oh my god. Can I not do this? There we go. There we go. But might as well fix it where we see it. Okay. Solid black lines. Excellent. In fact, these could probably even be thickened up and we would be in a good spot. Let's clean it up right up here since we're looking at it. And we can't, apparently. We can't. We still can't. Now we can. The only Star Trek I ever watched, I don't know that he ruined Star Trek because the only Star Trek I ever watched was TNG. Watched all the Next Generation and like all Star Trek stuff. It was very hard to get into in the first, like, gosh, the first like season was rough, and then second season took a little while to get going, but eventually started enjoying it. And then when I finished it, I was like, hell yeah, Star Trek's pretty good actually. I was like, I'm gonna watch some more of it. I'm gonna start Deep Space Nine, and then like all Star Trek, just a really hard to watch first season. I haven't watched any of it since. Except for that, oh man, that one episode where Data's on trial is a freaking banger. Oh my god. Like, while I was watching that episode, I was hooting and hollering. What's that one called? Measure of a Man? I remembered the title. That's how good it is. Whew. I feel like once Gene Roddenberry passed away, the writers got a little more space to work with. I was surprised in the first season about like how many seasons or how many episodes were about like weird sexy space stuff. Like just a lot of weird sexy space stuff. Doesn't get going until season 3 and then it skyrockets up. Yeah, see that's the thing. It's like, okay, we're starting a new Star Trek. got to tough out 2 seasons before it starts getting real good. And it's like, I don't know. I'm like, I toughed it out. I got through it. And now I don't know. It's hard for me to get back into that mindset of like toughing it out again. Chaos on the bridge. Huh. Whoop. Don't want to do all of those guys. We just want to do this one. My dog ran into the mic there. I'm sorry. She's like poking around back here. Let's change this to like a pink. Or maybe a purple? Maybe a purple and a pink? We can go red. Sarge, above you. Alright. Are we done? Is this it? Have we Spider-Man'd? Perhaps. Part of me just wants to like work this thing like a dead horse though. Just like unrelenting, like tweaking and tweaking and tweaking. As I am doing right now. I don't know. I think we're done. Does the webbing fit in a little better now? That was one of the questions that we had beforehand. Does the webbing work? Maybe we could lighten the webbing? Maybe? Does that work? I'm like squinting at it. Just gonna fall into the pointing trap if you do. Endless pointing? Yeah. My God. Now I'm noticing all this little stuff. So like when I put this online, right? We'll eventually shrink it down to I usually shrink it down to 1100 pixels wide. When I do that, will this matter? This? Maybe. Maybe? It's tough to tell. It's hard for me to tell like what matters and what doesn't when you start to like mess with this stuff. Let's just try something. We're gonna try a thing. Look, Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse broke all of our brains. And I think we can all agree that happened. What if we did a little off-register shenanigans? Just make this just a little off-register, a little off-register. Into the Spider-Verse broke all of our brains. I don't hate it. A whisper, a whisper of off register. Although, whew, those we made it a little illegible. Okay, I think we're done. Otherwise, we're going to be like messing with this thing forever. So, okay, what did we learn? We learned get in there with your process. Get in there with your process. Talk about it a lot. And then throw it the fuck out the window. That's what we learned. I I don't know that there's a better lesson for art than that. Because it works every time. It works every time except for when it doesn't work at all. And I think this is the lesson is yeah, just knock it out and then just get in there and paint maybe. I don't know. There's no lesson. I really wanted this to be like constructive and informative and like we're going to do a page and I'm going to pass along all this ideas and artistry and you know we were gonna do a thing. We were gonna do a thing. And like I think that I got in here and I just started throwing every trick and like insane thing at Spider-Man until it worked. And I believe it worked. Like I'm happy with our result. Like this is some bonkers coloring. It's super fun. It's very 2099. Which was the goal, you know. However, like, is there anything usable for you out there in regular society? Maybe. I hope that there is. We did some like cool stuff. Man, should we separate his nose from his leg? We're gonna endlessly noodle on this. Endlessly noodle. Can we zoom out? Yeah. I used a scroll wheel while I was making a selection for the first time right then. I was like, I don't know if this is possible, but apparently it is. All right, we're gonna, because it kind of made him putting his nose right to his knee there. He's kind of creating a tangent. This is just like stuff that I do to kind of force clarity a little bit. It's crazy that it's like it looks like this at the end and I'm like clarity is important. But clarity is important, so we're just going to push him back just a little bit. Just like that. I mean, we could even do red. Red would be more fitting rather than a purple. Yeah, let's do red. All right. All right. I'm going to call it because we're driving ourselves up the wall. Rick Leonardi drew this and he drew the hell out of it. And everyone should be picking up some Spider-Man 2099 because it's still rules. Even though we did this recolor, it's still like, man, the book is so freaking good. Also, it's anti-corporation and it's got a lot of good life lessons in there for you, for the kids. What else is going on? We're gonna do a. I'm not sure if we're gonna do a portfolio. If I can get a hold of a portfolio and agree for someone to let me get my grubby paws on a portfolio, we'll do a portfolio review next week. In 2 days. Or no, tomorrow, because this is a Wednesday stream. Tomorrow, Boyks and I are going to be doing I'm going to be bringing a SNES cart um, to our Super Nintendo. We're doing a joint stream of the Super Nintendo, and we can only pick from the first year that the Super Nintendo was out. So, from August to August in that first year, like, were there any bangers? Yes, there were so many good games. In fact, the first like 30 games that came out for the Super Nintendo by Christmas, there was 30 games out, and like 10 of them were stone cold classics. So we're both going to be bringing 2 games to the stream. I don't know what he's picked. He doesn't know what I picked. We're going to reveal them. Are we going to pick the same thing? I don't know. But I got some good ones. I got 2 that I have been wanting to revisit for a long time. So if you're into that, if you're into Super Nintendo stuff, that'll be fun. And then we got a very special stream next week after that. So keep making comics out there, and I'm gonna see if I can get a portfolio. If I can't, I'll find something else to color or draw, or maybe I'll even put it up to a vote on Twitter. Maybe we'll do some Fire Emblem. I'm gonna ask Twitter. So if you want to vote for Fire Emblem, check out my Twitter at NickPhil. Um, all the links for anything social is down below. If you ever got any questions about coloring, you ever want to bounce any ideas off me, I'm available in the Discord like basically every day. Uh, I know Andrea said that she needed a little help with something, and I am going to help her with it. I want to make a little video and put it up on YouTube, so I haven't forgotten about you. That's all I'm saying. Keep making comics. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out in the stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to post this up on social media stuff, and so you can see it not filtered through the Twitch algorithm and, you know, whatever it does to stream. And you can check it out in real life. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out. Keep making comics.